Hello, and today on Texture Review, we are going to be reviewing the texture of a Blaze King, otherwise known as a fireplace, but this one particularly says right there, Blaze King. So that's what I'm going to call it. Now, it's of a metal construction, has a sort of coating on it. It's quite a durable feeling, smooth coating. We have on the edge there, it's a relatively harsh edge. You could definitely do some damage if you slipped and fell on it. So try not to slip in front of the fireplace. And so that's the top part. We have a temperature gauge of sorts, which doesn't actually tell you how hot it is. It just tells you whether it's inactive or active or completely off. And so that's just a sort of metal disc thing with a outer protective ring for some reason. I don't really know what it needs protecting from. Perhaps small children, but they shouldn't really be getting close enough to a fire anyway, because they're stupid and they will injure themselves quite easily. And so it's the edges of that exterior bit is actually quite sharp. I don't really want to touch it too much. It doesn't feel that nice whatsoever. Then the actual bit is quite smooth. It's maybe just a stainless steel or something, just with some sort of treatment on there to get a colour, and then laser engraved or something. Then we have the little gauge arrow thing is a much finer, lighter metal, and it just sort of, it has a point on it. You can definitely impale your finger on it if you really tried to, so don't do that. Then the actual chimney is, oh, that's really smooth. That's a really nice coating on there, and can't leave any fingerprints on there. That's nice. Then we have the heat shield bit. That's inside. It seems to be some sort of polished steel. That is quite smooth, yes. And the exterior is some sort of painted, and that's a bit less smooth. No, it's less smooth even than the top. The front door, oh, now that's got some lumpy bumpy texture on it, just fine lumpy bumpies, but oh, I like that. Glass of that, it feels like glass. It's quite sturdy, stiff, rigid. Yes, the heat resistant fabric around the outside to keep it sealed up, and that just well, that feels quite ropey and lumpy ropey. Handle, standard sort of metal handle feel with a nice wooden handle on the end. Now that wood there is obviously there to not transfer the heat from the metal, because metal, as you may know, does heat up and distribute the heat throughout it, and it can get quite unpleasant when this thing is roaring, and you don't want to burn yourself when you're opening it to put stuff in. Interior, you get more of that ropey feeling. A lot of it. Ooh, and it's a bit fluffy, furry. Yeah, it's not bad. Interior glass is a bit dirty, but you know, it's only going to get more dirty when you use it. We have this weld around the seam. it's not a bad weld. Little lumpy, dumpy, dippy, whippy, not too bad whatsoever. And inside, we've got these fire bricks in there that will soak up the heat and just over time let the heat out, so you get more heat output for a longer duration of time. And they are quite coarse, very dirty, ashy, nice. Yeah, and the bottom is some, I guess it's brick again, but it feels a lot smoother. Maybe it could even be some sort of ceramic tile or something like that. I am not too sure whatsoever. I'm not an expert at all in fireplaces. But yeah, that's the inside. Oh, actually, I've got a metal bit up there that's a bit rusty and lumpy, dumpy, rough texture. Not very fun to touch, but generally you won't be touching the inside of a fireplace anyway unless you're giving it a clean. And then around the side we have another metal handle with the wooden end on it that again feels the same as that one. It's very, very nice wood, very smooth, little bit of the wood grain in there, and it's just a nice pleasant wood to touch. Then at the back we have a temperature control, which is a plasticky, well yeah, it is just a piece of plastic attached to whatever mechanism, and that's a nice smooth plastic that you should all really be familiar with, because it seems like bloody nearly everything's made out of plastic. And yeah, so yeah, that up the top here we have just a sort of exterior heat shield, so it doesn't transfer the heat from the chimney into the rest of the house via direct contact, which you wouldn't want, because these can get quite hot and you could end up with a house fire instead of just a nice comfortable warm fire making the house warm. And you don't want that. You want your house to stay not on fire and your fireplace to contain the fire. And so this is, I don't even know what that's made out of. Some of it feels like it should be metal, but then some of it feels too smooth. I guess it's just the coating, and it is made out of some sort of metal, but it's quite nice. And then the plate on top that touches the ceiling is just a smooth painted plate with screws, and the screws just feel like standard Phillips head screws. If you don't know what they feel like, you can find them in a lot of different items, or individually at a local hardware store. So if you didn't know what a fireplace feels like, now you do, specifically the Blaze King. If you want to touch a fireplace, make sure that if it is going, it's only just been lit, or it's completely cold so you don't injure yourself. Because if you do injure yourself, it can f***ing suck. And we want to be safe here. And so yeah, be safe about touching a fireplace or a fire. Fire hot, fire good, fire can be bad. Yeah, that's about it really. And as always, thank you for watching. be sure to check out my other videos, and if you like this one, give it a like, perhaps even share it with your friends or whatever, and don't forget to subscribe, because I will be making more of these longer ones on a weekly basis. I aim to have them coming out, and short ones I'll have at least try to have 2 coming out per week. So stay tuned for what happens next. Thank you.